Buckle up, because this case is as wild as it gets. We jump right into the madness as Mr. Harvey is here to get his $496.50 tutor back for baby stuff he says he had to buy for a kid that isn't his. And you can tell by the looks on their faces that this is going to be a doozy.
Mr. Harvey, you are asking the court to award you $496.52 for baby supplies you say the defendant, Ms. Jett, demanded for a child you adamantly deny is yours.
Yes, Your Honor.
Then, Ms. Jett drops another bombshell. She says she moved in with him and that they were all lovey-dovey for a hot minute. But then Harvey jumps in saying, nah, it wasn't like that. You can practically see the question marks in the judge's head.
Every day we had sex every day.
You got pregnant 2 weeks.
I didn't find out till I was
pregnant. Oh, we had sex the first week I mentioned.
No, I didn't.
Okay, so it was the second
I didn't
week.
find out till I was pregnant a month later, which was August. I was having sex with him every day.
A month after I met her, she left and moved back to Orlando. I stayed 60 miles from her. Buy all this baby stuff.
I asked him, okay.
I did not argue with her.
It takes 9 months for somebody
hold on.
And now we get to the juicy part, cheating accusations. Ms. Jett accuses Harvey of being a big-time cheater, saying he was messing around with other girls, which is why their relationship tanked. Harvey just shakes his head while his doubts keep piling up. You can feel the court bracing itself for the next twist.
Why'd you stop talking?
Because he was so sexually active with other women. He was cheating on me.
Oh, so there was a breakdown in the relationship.
Yes.
So at some point you were living apart.
Yes.
And then you demanded he bring you.
I was asking him months and months and months, can he get this, can he get that? He said, no, I'm not getting you
Your Honor,
anything until
I
the
have
baby
evidence.
is born.
It turns into a shopping list battle next. Harvey brings out receipts like, look, I got all the baby stuff she asked for. And he's got actual receipts from Facebook to prove it. Things are heating up as they argue over bottles and blankets.
I have evidence to show you that I have bought everything she demanded me.
Asked him months
I have evidence right here. She wrote me on Facebook demanding that I buy. I said, okay, Your Honor. I have the receipt where I bought everything on the list.
You need to make sure you bring me all of these things. 1, diapers. 2, baby wipes. 3, pacifiers.
Then Harvey throws some serious shade with a Facebook post twist. Even the audience gasps at the online drama.
After she had the baby, she had told me the whole time she was pregnant, she was in a relationship. And she said she was in a sexual relationship. That's one. If the baby mom, why didn't you tag me in the picture? Tag another guy and say she doesn't know who the guy is. But why the picture still stayed on your Facebook? And my family had to tell me, oh, you know she tagged another dude name in the picture. I got evidence for that too.
The receipts and math wars just keep going. Ms. Jett has her own list of baby costs and says she's covered everything herself. The judge is probably thinking they should be suing each other over grocery receipts at this rate.
Here's all the expenses that I've been taking care for of my daughter alone. He's suing me for $500. Her diapers is a little less than what he's suing me for. And plus her feeding is double that.
I'm suing you for what I got a receipt for.
Okay, but her diapers are close to what you're suing me for.
Every time you needed diapers, you called me and I gave it to you. Whenever you needed something, every time she called me, I gave it to her, Your Honor.
Just when it couldn't get weirder, Harvey accuses her of asking another guy to pay for an abortion. The judge's eyebrows go higher with every twist as the paternity doubts grow louder.
And then another thing is, after she had the baby, she was trying to get pregnant again. She was like, she told me she was pregnant or whatever, so I went and got her and stuff like that. And then she had started going through my phone. I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna go through your phone too. She telling this dude, she said, you need to pay for this abortion. And the whole time she was never pregnant. She told me she was pregnant for me, and then she telling some other dude he need to pay for abortion.
Now Harvey brings in the big guns. His aunt. Aunt Highsmith steps up and says the baby doesn't look anything like their family. By this point, everyone's looking at the baby like it's a science experiment gone wrong.
I know is that when she had the baby, looking at my nephew's other children, we have strong genes. And all his brothers look alike, his brother's kids look alike.
And I have
they have the same heads. His children look just alike from different moms. Everybody looks like the Harveys or the Highsmith. Baby has no genes of us at all. Head shape or anything.
Me, I have strong genes.
Next up, Bet's mom gets in on the drama. She's here to defend her daughter and her granddaughter, and she's not letting Harvey off easy. It's mom versus aunt in the family showdown.
He called me and told me that Shardeja was pregnant.
I didn't meet.
He hadn't met me, but you called me and told me my daughter is pregnant and how I shouldn't worry about you leaving.
I did not know Kim until after the baby was born.
Oh, you called me. Don't sit up there and lie. You did.
I did not know. I did not know her until after the baby was born.
And now Harvey explains why he bailed on supporting the baby. The judge is looking a little overwhelmed, but everyone else is just eating up every second of this roller coaster.
I want to understand that though, Mr. Harvey, because it seems like you were on board, and I have not testimony that would substantiate the departure from the commitment that you've made.
Because
I don't understand where the doubt.
This is the moment of truth. The DNA results are in.
Pertaining to 4-month-old Nolani Harvey. Mr. Harvey, you are not her father.
Green firmly denies being the father of Ms. Lee's son, suggesting her involvement with a sugar daddy is questionable.
Mr. Green, you say you know exactly who Kingston's father is, and it's not you. It's Ms. Lee's sugar daddy, who's more than twice her age. You say Mr. Green is denying Kingston.
He's been denying them for 3 years. I have to call. I have to do so much to get this man into my child's life. But at the end of the day, I just want him to step up.
I try to meet her halfway, but her attitude is just...
My attitude has nothing to do with you stepping up for your child.
Ms. Lee, determined to prove Mr. Green's paternity, attempts to undermine the credibility of the other man in her life.
I slept with another dude one time with a condom.
Your Honor, she's on Facebook making a crazy post talking about some who out here got the best D and talking about other men, stuff like that.
Wait, you got...
Your Honor, I got evidence right here.
Let me see this evidence. Jerome, you submitted to the court Facebook post from Ms. Lee that say, is it wrong to have choices on men and blank all on the first day just in case the D ain't good? Just asking.
Oh, that's a question.
And you submitted another question, raise of hands. Who got the good D?
I want to know who got it.
So you're at the point that you've even had to sleep with him?
Right.
That's not true, Your Honor.
You got a smirk on your face, Mr. Green.
Because he knows.
Your Honor, she just wanted me to come. She said she wanted me to come over and watch him. You know, keep an eye on him, and she wanted to spend some time with him. And the position I was in at the time, he couldn't come to my place because her and my girlfriend, they had problems.
So, Ms. Lee, I want you to take me back. You find out you're pregnant. What happens? Do you tell him immediately?
When I found out I was pregnant, I took a pregnancy test. And they told him I was pregnant. So when he found out, he denied right then and there. My sugar daddy been there for 10 years, have never, ever left my side. I would never leave him. He come way before this.
The situation becomes more complicated as it's revealed that Mr. Green is secretly living with his girlfriend.
Your Honor, she knew I had a girlfriend. She even tried to call
He knew he had a girlfriend, so that's his problem.
She knew it, too.
That ain't got nothing to do with me.
So how did you explain to your girlfriend you lived in the house with Ms. Lee?
Oh, he couldn't. I called her. Woke him out his sleep and made him start talking and didn't let him know she was on the phone until the end of the conversation to let her know, yeah, your dude over here and I'm pregnant.
In your mind, you knew you weren't really in a relationship with him, but you thought he was trying to play both sides.
Ms. Lee claims that Mr. Green only shows interest when it benefits him, intensifying the conflict.
Where were you? You ain't about nothing. You should be surprised another dude is doing something. You should be happy. Applaud him.
You know what, Your Honor, on top of that, prior to me, I knew her 3 years prior to this. She told me since I known her, she could never get pregnant because she had a hernia.
We didn't do it once. We were doing it for the whole month. So it wasn't like this is the one. You the only person I slept with. He took me to work and brought me back home. So what's this excuse?
So, Mr. Green.
To me, all these lies going on, I don't believe nothing she say. It's too much. Too much.
When you found out I was pregnant, you should have did more. You know what I'm saying?
So when you told him you were pregnant, his response was what?
It ain't mine.
But you admittedly were sleeping with her unprotected.
Yes, I was, Your Honor.
Despite Mr. Green's repeated demands for a DNA test, Ms. Lee consistently refuses, escalating the tension between them.
Bingo. Don't that look like the same
sure.
baby? Look like the same baby. That's him in the blue.
Well, once you seen the
and
picture, that's when she felt more confident.
That's him.
You can't just go off the picture, though.
So, Ms. Lee, at the end of the day, we know that the biology controls it all, that really it's about who you slept with, not who he looks like.
Right.
Why are you getting upset?
Because I feel like he been through this. So why would you do that to your only child?
The judge expresses surprise at the prolonged delay in resolving the paternity question. As tensions mount, Ms. Lee seeks a father figure for her son, while Mr. Green believes she is just looking for a babysitter.
Me, growing up, I mean, I didn't have a father. So I feel like if you went through all this, why would you do that to your child? Why would you do that to your first? I would at least go through it first and then find out. Mr. Green don't do nothing.
Right. So you're saying, Ms. Lee, you're comfortable too. This isn't just about that's how badly I want my son to have a relationship.
My other son don't have that.
It's like, what you doing? Why you ain't seen your son lately? That's why I'm not a babysitter.
It's a difference.
But listen, Mr. Green, listen. I mean, it's not so far out of the ordinary for her to say, hey, Mr. Green, can you watch the child while I go to work? Or even if she just needed a break. I mean, let's be honest, she stated in the courtroom that she trusts you because you were so good to her other child. And I also hear you, Ms. Lee, when you say growing up in foster care, there is a trauma innate in that. And I see the tears in your eyes.
Now the moment of truth has arrived, and the results will finally clarify the situation.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Green, you are the father.
Told you!
About Miss Lusk and her mother, and things get very hectic.
Describe to the court how difficult this situation has been for you and your daughter.
It's been more than extremely difficult. Being pregnant at 16, having to still go through school. These past 4 years, everything has been on me and my mother. My daughter is beautiful, and you missed out on 4 years, almost 4 years of my child's life.
Miss Lusk shared the challenges of being a teen mom, raising her daughter alone without support from Desmond's family.
They're out for money. I had insurance on my son. I had an insurance policy. They're out for money.
That we knew nothing about.
Let her speak.
Nothing about.
You said you have an insurance policy.
Yes, Your Honor.
And so this insurance policy is in the amount of $50,000. You submitted that paperwork to the court.
Your son was in a committed relationship
that we knew nothing
was
about.
Never brought up,
that we knew nothing
or brought
about.
around.
And the crazy thing is, the last time we were intimate, you knocked on the door. You interrupted us.
Miss Page claims she never heard of Ms. Lusk before her son's passing and maintained he was in a committed relationship.
Ms. Lusk, explain to the court what happened that day.
It was a normal time, scheduled routine that I would actually come over there because we had times that I would come over to see him because he only stayed a few blocks from my school. And during certain periods, whether it was gym or my lunch period, I would go, I would walk. He would meet me halfway.
You asked to go to the school. Of course she wasn't showing. She was just pregnant.
You went to see Ms. Lusk at school?
Yes,
I went to see her at school
to
talk to her and to find out what was going on. She didn't look pregnant. She was holding her head down. She had no stomach whatsoever.
But at the same time, this was my first time meeting you, Miss Page.
Both women recalled different events from the past, including an instance where Miss Page allegedly interrupted Miss Lusk and Desmond. Miss Lusk insisted on their relationship.
Once Samari was born, did you allow Miss Page the opportunity to see her? Did you say, the baby's here now, if you'd like to?
Because prior to that, we were already where she was on Facebook saying, you need to have your daughter find the baby's daddy. My son is not it. You're not allowed to put the baby in the last name Page. You don't have my permission. Like we really needed it.
Because your daughter's on the back page.
We didn't need your permission.
Facebook became a battleground where Miss Page allegedly slandered Miss Lusk and even mocked Samari. Miss Lusk claimed she never retaliated online.
The daughter's name is Samari Dior Anderson Page.
And that's not
so you gave Samari Desmond's last name.
Without my permission.
We don't need your permission. It was permission when I laid down and was intimate with him.
That's
permission.
It's not been
That's
proven.
Permission.
It's not been proven.
But it will be today.
You're not
but it will be today. You're
not
absolutely correct.
Miss Page had an opportunity to see Samari?
No, ma'am.
Never.
I seen her one time by accident at an acquaintance's birthday party.
So you've never had the opportunity to come by and spend time with her?
She held my daughter at that party. She also, she had the opportunity, yes ma'am,
yes, Miss Lusk, I held her and I got a picture taken.
You had a
few. To see, did she even favor the family?
You posted it on Facebook. You posted it on your Facebook page.
A major dispute arose over Samari's last name, which includes Page. Miss Page disapproved of this decision, arguing that Miss Lusk had no right to use it without proof of paternity.
The only facts you can go by is the positioning of your son, what you were able to see prior to his passing, and that is that you were told and you thought he was in a relationship with someone else, a long-standing relationship. Am I correct?
Yes, sure.
And you didn't have any reason to know or believe your son was having sex outside of that relationship with anyone else. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, now Ms. Lusk, I want to ask you respectfully, were you aware that Desmond was in another relationship with someone else?
No, Your Honor, I didn't find out until the day of and the day after his passing. I believe four days after his passing, that's when I took my own pregnancy test and found out I was pregnant. That was April 24th. His funeral was April 27th.
Judge Lake highlighted the grief both sides were experiencing. Miss Page was coping with losing her son, while Miss Lusk struggled with being a young mother. Miscommunication created drama.
In the case of Lusk versus Page, when it comes to 3-year-old Samari Page, it has been determined by this court the probability of relatedness between Ms. Page and Samari Page is 99.96%.
4 years. 4 years, and I never asked nothing
4
of
years,
you. I never asked
my
nothing
son been
of
deceased.
you.
You're supposed to do what you got to do as a mother.
Stop arguing.
Correct, and I have.
Ladies, both of you all are in so much pain. Everything that comes out your mouth is bitter.
The DNA results revealed a 99.96% probability that Samari is related to Miss Page, confirming Desmond as her father. Judge Lake urged both sides to focus on...
Haddle and Andrews are in court because they ended their relationship, and Andrews denies that he is the father of Haddle's 1-year-old daughter, Amarella. Haddle wants to prove paternity to Andrews.
These are the reasons you believe you are not the father. You saw sexual text messages from another man. Is that correct?
Correct.
Explain.
The same person who I see this text message from is the same guy who she was having an affair with all along from the whole get-go. So when I seen that text message, my whole thought process was...
Andrews showed text messages from another man in his exhibit. The messages suggested a sexual relationship between the man and Haddle, leading Andrews to doubt Amarella's paternity.
You jumped out of the window at 3 a.m.
Correct.
Who jumped out the window?
She did.
I was trying to get free from him.
But see, the whole
He's
thing
crazy.
is, she leave the house every time. It's always when a private car come, or it's after 3 a.m. That's the only time he able to get away from his wife, so-called.
What?
And with that said...
Wait a minute. So she gets...
Andrews reveals that Haddle jumped out of the window at 3 a.m. and even texted another man who had a wife. The accusations just kept on adding up and things weren't looking good for Haddle.
In May of 2014, I told Maurice everything, who I was with, everything, and told him if he wants to make it work, we're gonna make it work. And he came back to Kansas and we conceived Amarella. We were trying for a boy and I wasn't cheating. I stopped. I was being faithful and trying to be a good woman to him.
Haddle claims that she told Andrews about her entire past, and they apparently agreed to have a child even after Andrews knew all of that information. Haddle tried to pass herself off as a good woman.
Found a condom
so
in the car.
I was using protection and it ain't no one else.
Do that, But she know I'm the one who take my daughter to daycare every morning. I'm the one get the dress, take daycare every morning. Little dirty people couldn't even take the condom and throw it away.
If you found a condom in the car.
So wait.
I showed you.
It was a dirty condom?
It was a dirty condom.
Andrews claimed to have found a used condom in the car, which he believed was evidence of Haddle's infidelity. But Haddle denied being intimate with anyone in the car and said that the condom was used.
He was there the whole pregnancy, you know, took care, rubbed my back, feet, helped with the kids, helped keep the house clean, you know, whatnot. But mentally, he wasn't a good.
So at the birth, did you go to the? So you were there at the hospital because you got to see her be born.
Okay, but at the same time, while she was pregnant, she was having.
Let me tell you something, Mr. Andrews.
Andrews was there for the whole pregnancy and birth. He supported Haddle during her pregnancy, rubbing her back and feet, helping with the kids, and even keeping the house clean.
Old Amarella Andrews. It has been determined by this court. Mr. Andrews, you are the father. Guys, how do you feel in this moment?
I love her regardless. It's my daughter's sister, so.
According to the DNA test results revealed in court, Andrews was confirmed to be the father of Amarella. He said it didn't change anything for him since Amarella was still his daughter's sister regardless.
Heart. What you all displayed up in this courtroom today is shameful. 2 grown people running around town. I mean, this is just ridiculous. You got these little girls. How many children do you have? Mr. Andrews, how many?
7.
7. How many girls, how many boys?
5 girls, 2 boys.
5 girls.